Hello, I'm Luminița Sundrea, and I am pleased to welcome you again to the podcast Justice Where To. In a world full of contradictions and accelerated change, the notion of justice is in a permanent change as required. So now I'm glad to meet two new guests to this podcast. It is Mr. Humberto Nuno de Oliveira, professor of history at the University of Lisbon, but also the president of the European and World Federations of Goju Ryu. It's a form of karate, and together with Mr. Octavian Amzulescu, who is the president of the Romanian Federation of Goju Ryu and karate, and he's also a psychologist. Welcome to our podcast, gentlemen, and nice to see you here in this in my podcast. So please tell me, how come that you are both now today, in a beautiful day of September, here in Timișoara?
Well, we came. First of all, thank you for your invitation. We came to Timișoara for the 21st European Goju Ryu Championship, in homage and memory of our late friend Cristian Bogza, and we gather here 15 European nations during 3 days to be participating in a major event for Goju Ryu. Goju Ryu is one of the 4 traditional styles of karate. There are 4 styles adopted as such, although there are more, of course, but Goju Ryu is among those 4, and we came here to Timișoara, to the beautiful city of Timișoara, let me say, and express all my gratitude for the invitation to all the people from the Romanian Karate Federation and all the friends here from Timișoara to gather these people for practicing this old form of karate, which obviously is included, as you probably would like to speak about, in the world of the martial arts.
Welcome to Timișoara, and I'm amazed that, look, now Timișoara is on the map of international karate competitions, and this is very nice for all of us and for sports in general. Mr. Amzulescu, you are not only the president of the Karate Federation, but you're also a psychotherapist. Tell me, please, how many people have been to this event?
First time, hello, thank you for the invitation. For this event was about 800-900 competitors from 15 nations. Romania was from these nations, and the feedback about the city of Timișoara was extraordinary. Our guest was very impressed of Timișoara, and they express the gratitude and the wish that in the future to organize another championship in Timișoara. So it was perfect.
So I'm very glad to hear that. Is the first time or not to be here in Timișoara?
For me, it was the first time.
It was the first time.
Fortunately, I've been many times to Romania, which is a country I love, but never in Timișoara. For me, it's the first time, and I surely will come back because it's a very nice city.
I'm glad to hear that. And gentlemen, both of you are professional with a high-valued career. You are professor of history at the university, and you are psychotherapist. And as you remember, when we first spoke, I asked you, why karate? Why did you come to practice karate and have such a passion for this that you got to use to such a big part of your life for the karate?
Well, for my side, I first came in contact with karate when I was a kid. In 1976, I started practicing karate, and although I did many other sports, because we can also consider in this some sense karate as a sport, although it's not only a sport or is much more than a sport. Although I practice other sports, I became passionate with karate. And although I did my career as historian, as you said, and work all my life as a university professor, karate became a very important part of my life. I was president of my national karate federation, all styles, and then later I embraced this project only for my style, which is the one that gives me more pleasure, because really what I love among karate is my style, Goju-ryu.
Perfect. And you, Octavian?
My sport career was very long, is very long. I started sport at 5.5 years by gymnastics, and after that,
wow.
yeah, I retired, but not from the performance, because I can't do the performance. After that, I play football until my high school, and after high school, I think that in 1987 or 88, I start karate. Karate at that period in Romania was illegal during the communism, and we start in Craiova, because I was born in Craiova and I grew up in Craiova. We start as a judo club, and so we practice karate, but all people knows that we are judoka.
Yeah.
So maybe all of us, we know about karate, we know about martial arts, especially from the movies of our childhood. But I wonder, why is karate so important? Why are martial arts so important in the development of a person, man or woman?
Well, most of all, for when you start at early age, it gives you a lot of values. It gives you concentration, it gives you focus, and it gives you discipline, which are quite important values in our days. Furthermore, and that's a statement I would like to say since I have the opportunity, there's much conversation nowadays because of martial arts and violence and some illegal problems. But as to karate, karate bases itself on the biggest maximum of karate, which in Japanese is karate ni senten nashi, which means in karate there's no first attack, which means the karateka never attacks. The karateka uses karate for defense and for protecting others, but never to attack anyone. So this is a statement. I think it's important because in nowadays they're so different and so varied forms of martial arts that sometimes I don't want to speak for all of them.
I see. What do you say, Octavian?
From the psychological point of view, karate develop characters. Karate develop discipline. Now, karate it's from big family of martial art. Martial art means the art of war. You know, if you are in the war and if you want to win, you must be you must have many skills. So physical and psychological skills, and you must have discipline, you must have technique, you must have tactic, you must have a strong character, you must have resistance, you must have endurance and patience, and you must be humble, not I'm strong, no. This kind of value I learned from karate. Also, we can learn from any other sports, but in karate, it's a contact sport. If you don't learn that kind of skills, you will be hurt.
I see.
And the decision, you must take a decision in
Seconds.
Not seconds. Milliseconds.
Milliseconds.
Yeah.
Because if you stay and think too much, it's dangerous for you healthy and for your protection.
This is interesting. And what would you say it's a difference between regular sports like running or fitness and martial arts? Because definitely there is a difference.
Yeah, of course, because from our point of view, those you mentioned are also part of our training. We also have to run. We also have to do some fitness to keep in shape,
Yes,
because
good point.
of course it's important for our health, for our endurance, for our stamina, for all those situations. We need also to use things that we borrow from other sports or from other formations. So of course Those are important, but those are for, unless you're a professional runner, then you have objectives of practicing, going to a championship or this or that. But if you do running for your own health, of course we also do that. Of course we also borrow those skills from other sports.
So you see, so you say that practically this kind of sport is also developing other sides of the human body and also psyche. And actually, I was wanting to put a question that concerned me some years ago, because now we speak more and more in our world about conciliation, about lack of violence, about lack of aggressivity in human relationship. How? What about fighting? What's the good part of fighting?
So, as a continue what meu presidente said, in other sports you prepare body and mind to do something, to obtain a goal, something, doesn't matter. In karate, in martial arts, you prepare body and mind to be first time weapon and second time the shield. Mm-hmm. This is the big difference between martial arts and other sports. In other sports, the body, we use the body to gain something, a victory, or doesn't matter if it is individual or team sports. But in martial arts, we prepare the body to be first time weapon and after that shields. It's not about violence. It's about psychical victory. You know, in old Buddha said, a great master don't fight. He don't need to fight. Just the simple presence will solve the problem, and the opponent cannot try to fight with him
because he's so strong.
Yes, because
and so skilled, and
so skilled.
Is respected. Because there's also a situation I would like also to address, because we didn't spoke so far about it, which is respect. There's a lot of respect, and this always should be respect in the world of karate and martial arts. And also, of course, if you respect the capacity, the knowledge of others, you of course have your own position in the supposed ranking, to use the terminology of other sports. So one which perceived as a great master carries with it a legacy, a history, a tradition, a respect that others recognize on him. So that's also very important. And as already we both said, there's no violence in martial arts, or should be no violence in martial arts.
No violence.
Yeah,
even if somebody hits you.
Yeah, we are taught since first steps in a dojo, which is the place where we practice karate, that is no violence. We are not there for violence or for learning how to hit others. We are there to improve ourselves. And one major difference also that I think it's important for this talk is that for instance, in other sports you have a career that you can measure in terms of X years, and in martial arts it never ends, really. Then you became as a student, and then you obtain your black belt, and black belt is just the beginning of other completely different things. So it really never ends. You are always learning. Every time we go to a dojo with a friend from other style or from other line or from other tradition, we learn some new things, and some of them are quite important. So it's a continuous process.
About this process, you know, we start karate, doesn't matter which age, what age, and we finish when our life is finished.
Yeah.
During this period, we study same basis movement, the same, you know, but we understand that when we practice many years and our bodies decrease, not increase, because we became older and older, that technique must have some efficiency but we consume a less energy, and we don't need muscle to be powerful.
So you say that you improve your skills so much that you need less and less energy to attain the same outcome.
Well, not exactly the same, but reasonable outcome. Yeah.
We understand that how to use our bodies, because when we are young, the muscles are go to the sport hall, to the gym, and muscle, I'm very powerful. But when we become older and older, that muscle doesn't exist, and we use brain and the body.
That's very interesting. As a matter of fact, as we discussed before the podcast, I think I was wondering about the connection between the martial arts and karate in special because it's your field, and justice. As I read on internet before, several hundred years ago, in the karate martial arts community, this sport was also regarded as a means of justice for the people.
Yes, obviously, in the case of Japanese martial arts, which is our universe, we can establish some parallel between those two situations. For instance, in the past, in ancient Japan, the samurai class were entitled also to deliver justice and to act on the name of his lord. And so, of course, there's some, and of course, we are used to see samurais as using only the sword, but they have many other skills. They practice ancient forms of judo, which more energetic judo than the sportive one we know, which was called jujutsu, not to confound with jiu-jitsu. It's a different situation. Yes, they had skills in taijutsu, which was the way to restrict people through ropes, the use of ropes. They have lots of skills, and so they were very skillful warriors, not only with of course with the katana, but also in many other forms. And they were inside their domains, they were the ones who delivered justice, and they were perceived as someone who represents the authority of the Lord. And they were quite restrictive, because the Bushido code, the code of the warrior, that has several important guidelines that they should follow during their life, could ultimately end with seppuku, which was the situation that is better known, although is not correct, as harakiri, which is the one stabs his own knife in his belly and cuts it. It was a way of punishment when they fail in something, when they fail in their honor, when they fail in their duties, when they fail in something. So it was quite a strict code. And first time Europeans arrived to Japan, it was very different to understand those two so different mentalities. We were, the first Europeans that arrived in Japan happened to be Portuguese. Most of them were priests, and they found it very confusing how that people act, and the code of values, and so strict code that could end by killing themselves. So it was not easy for Europeans to understand
this is very, very interesting. As a matter of fact, you say that practical in the absence of a court of justice, the way we understand it now, tribunal, a court of justice, the samurai had a code like, let's say, a criminal code maybe, with rules of behaving, and if somebody didn't respect the rules, they were entitled by the Lord to give a punishment somehow.
Yeah.
So that was the way, and who could choose or who could decide if the person was guilty or not, and what kind of punishment to apply.
Yeah, there was well-known situations, and for us Europeans, we're used to a very strict and very oriented code of justice. The king, the courts, when we had it, and some kind of authority. In Japan, it was more diffused, because all the people were aware of the values that should be practiced, not only the samurai class. And so if they didn't compel with it, they would know that they will be under suspicious and under the watchful eye of those who could carry the justice. So that's a situation.
Very interesting. Octavian, as a psychologist, maybe can we say that the entitlement given to samurai to apply justice was also due to the fact that they were regarded as people with high characters and high knowledge of what is right and what is wrong?
So I want to go before the samurai era. They said that rules and legislation in written forms appear when the people cannot respect each other and cannot respect what they talk with each other, and that some smart guy said, okay, you don't recognize what do you say and that what you promise to do. Let's read something, and if you forgot, you read. This is the major principle of the life. We don't need, for example, in our case, we don't need to sign papers to put the stamp of our federation. Just we talk and finished. We solve.
Gentleman's agreement.
Yes, gentleman's agreement. And the justice in like samurai, from time to time was good, from time to time wasn't good, because they cut also innocent people, also the people from the inferior castes. Yeah, and they said in Japan, when two Japanese meet each other, or more than two, they bow each other. Yeah, and this is an artifact after 1,100 years of samurai dominations. They said that when samurai look at you and don't like your face, if you are inferior caste, they cut your head with a sword.
But you both smile to me, so I'm safe now, yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So no problem. We don't have.
And we don't carry katanas.
And this is an artifact, and Japanese, when we beat together, they bow with the head. They look each other, but the justice is justice, violence is violence. From time to time, justice means violence, and this is the problem. What is the border between justice and violence?
By the way, what is the border between justice and violence, gentlemen?
That's a tricky question. Even in nowadays, we never know. For instance, if you look at an uprising, you can say it's a fair and just uprising, but from the perspective of the one who keeps the power, it's never that way.
All right.
Yeah. So it's I think it's impossible to reply in a statement like those engraved on stone to such a question, because nowadays we are tired of seeing such examples.
I also take some kickboxing lessons, which for me was something very new. I never had contact with contact sports before. In fact, as a woman, I did singing, ballet, things that girls do. And first lessons were very tough for me, because I wasn't used to physical contact and with hurt. And I felt so scared and by this physical contact. But then, after a while, I realized, after the first impressions, I realized that I got more and more resilient. So what seemed to be awfully hurting at the beginning, afterwards it got to be more and more acceptable. So from this point of view, I mean, this is my personal experience, it's nothing compared to yours, so like that. But can we say from this point of view that maybe this kind of sport also increases one's resilience, but not only bodily, physical resilience, but also mind resilience?
Let me start, please.
That's why I look at you.
when we born with two needs of insurance. We must be a safety, and we must be a part of family, a part of society, a part of clan, of so on. Without these two needs, children cannot grow up very good.
To belong, yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that is the reason that uncertainty, it's for us, it's dangerous. Because every time, every moment, we want to be safety. We want to be sure. From karate, we fight. We fight. You training our bodies to be weapon, to be shield. We think, we realize after many years, if you are not invincible. Maybe one non-martial art practicant can kill you. Maybe everything is happened. It will be happen. It's possible to happen. So I think that we become wiser. And this is the reason that...
from that perspective of choose your battles, maybe?
But maybe, yes. Maybe we can choose our battles. Maybe if... Sun Tzu, about history. Sun Tzu was a Chinese strategist.
I know.
And his book, The Art of War, was translated in many languages. And in every domain of our lives applies something from Sun Tzu. And Sun Tzu said, if you want to invincibility, sit in defense. The possibility to win, sit in attack.
To be vigilant all the time?
No, to win.
To win.
Stay in attack. If you choose the war or the battle, you choose the battle to win or to be invincible. Depends. Depends of the context.
Okay, and this is a very good topic you mentioned now. What about victory?
Yeah, victory is not that important in karate. Because also going a little bit back, when we start karate, we have three different parts of the big training in karate. The main one is Kion. Kion is the basics, is how you learn the first moves, how you learn to go back and forward in the dojo. So, and that takes you all of your life. You never cease to do Kion. Kion is the basic. Then you can do, and you must do, of course, kata. Kata is a combat between yourself and imaginary opponents. So you have to do that, but do that in a way that it makes sense, in a way that then you can, of course, present its application, which is called the bunkai, which is, I do this because of this effect. And then lastly, for some, you have kumite. We also do kumite. Kumite is fighting. We can do several forms of kumite. We can do sparring kumite between partners at the dojo, and we can do kumite for sport. And that's a quite different situation. And so many people do karate all their lives and never do kumite as a sport, never do competition. So you can go either the traditional way, which is Kion, kata, and also kumite inside your dojo with your partners, or you can go to sport karate, which is a completely different stuff. Is for competition, for going to a championship and try to achieve the most. But it's also possible that you do karate all your life without attending a single tournament. So these are two patterns of situation I would like to clarify, because both are possible. Many people I know never wanted and never feel the need to go to competition because they like to be there. They like to do Kion, they like to do kata, they like to do some, let's call it sparring, not to confuse with kumite in competition, but they do it all their lives. They never leave the dojo. They are there. They are following the way of tradition. And even in karate, first karate was when it was first named, because karate actually came from a sub-archipelago from Japan, which is Okinawa, further to the south, between Japan, what Okinawans call mainland Japan, which actually is the biggest islands, and Taiwan. And so it was born there of Chinese influence, because it was a separate kingdom. And of course, there you can find people that dislike competition. Still nowadays, they dislike competition. You can go to traditional dojos and you speak about competition. Say, it's not important for us. We want to follow tradition. We want to follow the ancient form. But before it was called this, it was called only te. Te is hand. It was the name they borrow from China. And so firstly it was called Chinese hand, and then art of the end, and finally empty end, which is the translation for karate. Karate, te hand, kara, empty, karate.
Oh, very interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting. But what about you? Did you choose competition? As a matter of fact, if you are here, yes.
Yes, I was competitor.
Why did you choose competition?
Because when you are young, you have more adrenaline. Yeah, you must fight. You must demonstrate that you are good.
More than the Japanese.
Also Japanese fight. No, okay. It's okay. But now we are in the 21st century, not in 10th century, when they fight for liberty, for own lives. No, we must demonstrate something. You must show. Doesn't matter to the parents, to the mate, doesn't matter. We must show that we are very good, we are very strong. And what can we do? We go to fight in the sport, And I choose competition. I was a committed competitor, but during the time, I understood that I don't have to demonstrate something.
Anything to anybody.
Yes.
Only to yourself.
And I start to study kata, and as I said, because I'm working in the National Institute for Sport Psychology in Romania, and I'm working with about all sports from Romania. When I learn competitors, mental skills and mental training, one of the most important mental skills is imagery. How to use imagery in sports, and it depends of few sports.
Can you develop a little bit about that? Both of you, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. For example, when you run 100 meters, when you run, you must imagine that your body. You must see your body when it's raining. When it's running. Mm-hmm. When you look, it's two type of imagery, through your eyes, or through the video camera, like you stay and see you run, or you run and you see through your eyes.
Through your imagination, maybe.
Yes. And after that, I teach them to observe his body, to observe the techniques, to observe the back, to observe many things, because you must split what do you want to do in many basic movements.
Mm-hmm. And so parts as if that you learned it before you do it actually with your body.
When you put the left to run, it's quite simple. You move the left, you move the right, but it's not quite simple, because all body must do something.
I see.
The joint, the hands, the arms, and you split in the basics elements, and if you don't work correctly, you must improve that elements. You cannot improve, you want to improve the speed. You said, I want to gain 2 seconds from 100 meters. But it's generally speaking. How you can improve? First time, start. You can gain milliseconds from the start. You can gain milliseconds from acceleration distance. You can make milliseconds from the plateau, when you don't accelerate and you move with the same speed. And after that, when you decrease, you can improve the distance, so on.
So can we say that through this visualization,
Yeah.
actually you prepare a strategy of improving your skills, whatever kind of sport
You can do everything with the visualization to improve the techniques, improve the strategy, improve everything.
Even in karate, of course.
But
Yes.
this is the point. In karate, our senseis teach from the first time to use imagery. Because in karate, also in Kihon, when you make a step and kick or fist we must imagine that our opponent is here. I cannot punch here or here. No, I punch directly where my opponent
to
is.
your opponent.
Yeah, also, when we move Tai Sabaki names, left, right, back, front, back, we must have the visualization only to our opponent.
So can we say, as you related earlier, that this kind of first parts of karate, kata without fighting, it's kind of imagery preparing for eventual battle? Can we say something like this?
Yes, you must be ready for what it comes. Although you can not be sure that you ever will always win. Of course, there will always be someone better than you in every sense, but you have to accept it and surpass it. But you have to deal with that, of course, and that's why, as Octavian was saying, that while doing Kion, we always focus on our enemy. We don't punch there because the opponent will not be there, will be in front of us. We don't defend to the left because the strike for us will come from the front and from the opponent. So of course all the Kion, which is the core of karate, the real core of karate, is practice in order to obtain maximum speed, maximum power, maximum capacity, if you have to use it. But as I told before, we don't do it because, for instance, in kata, which is those basic forms, all katas in karate always start with the defense, which goes back to what I told before. There is no first attack in karate. The first movement is always a defense. So you start because you were attacked, and then you defend, and then you counter-attack, but never an attack.
But what about those things? I've read about it, that you in karate also work a lot with your energy body. How does this feel as a fighter or a sportsman of karate? If when you develop those, I did also some Tai Chi, and we were working with energy balls, and we played with them up and down and on the hand and everything, and it was amazing.
Yeah, actually you have several sources of martial arts, and of course you name a while ago kickboxing. Kickboxing comes from a different tradition of martial arts, which is Thai martial arts. Muay Thai is the origin, the big origin of those martial arts. And we have Japanese, we have Indonesian traditions, we have Indian traditions, and you have Chinese traditions. And most of those situations with energy come from very old traditions in China. And of course, everybody heard about the Shaolin monks, which are...
Yes, they were flying in some movies.
It's a completely different situation. They are raised in the monasteries since young age, and they are submitting to harsh training with lots of philosophical situations coming from Buddhism, and of course they can obtain excellent performances. But that's not what regular
sports
martial arts practitioners in Europe do. That's for true.
Yes, well, but it's extraordinary, and of course the cinema and the movies exploited this extraordinary thing. But back to our real world and our real sportsmen. What do you think if I was a parent and I will ask you if my child should study martial arts? What would you tell me?
Do it.
Do it, and because the martial arts are part of education.
Do it, but choose wisely the instructor.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is most important.
So the teacher is important.
Yeah.
You know, because another very important lesson that I personally learned from karate, you know, we are trained to just to defend our body. Yeah, my arms are not here because here is not my body. My body is here, and we are focused only on the opponent and our body. That is the reason that I don't care about what's happened near me, because it's not my business. And when we transfer what we learn in karate in regular life, our mentality is simple. We focus is about one issue that we must do now, and I don't care about what my friend do now, because my energy goes only there, and all my capacity, all my skills, all my energy go to that topic.
Perfect.
Not too many topics. Multitasking is multitasking. It's a new. But if you must be efficient, all your energy, all your mind, all your body must be here and now with this topic.
So you have to be present in the moment, as
Yes.
everybody teaches us today, with yourself.
Definitely.
With all your five
Senses. It's amazing, and I wanted to ask you, because time passed very quickly for you gentlemen, and thank you very much. It was so interesting. I would like to ask you something. How is your life, because you have karate in it? How the practicing of this sport change your life, your way of thinking, of being, if we may say so?
I can tell you completely. And furthermore, it gives me the opportunity to meet extraordinary people all over the world. And that is very good, because once you're on it, you will clearly see what the core values of people is. And we allow us ourselves to choose wisely our friendships, our knowledges, which is quite different from friendship. And of course, I think from my point of view, it really came in. Karate helped me on that.
Okay, and what about you?
For me, was many forms, many topics that changed my life from karate. First time was my first Japanese master, 1990, after our revolution. He was a very wise and very good man, and he teach us a very important lessons. And he said, okay, I explain you a techniques. I made the techniques for you, but you don't take me as a model. You must understand what I explain to you. You must filter on your brain, and after that you must apply.
So practice.
Yes, but
Yes.
first time, you must understand what do you do. And after that, you must make a lot of training, a lot of work to practice what do you understood. And after that, the third period is to apply in real life what do you prepare for.
Wow.
So this is the most important lesson.
But you didn't tell me how this changed your life.
In many ways, because I don't
Give me
imagine
three.
I don't imagine my life without karate. Yeah, because I have a very good friends all over the world. Yeah, we talk each other. Doesn't matter the period of year. Doesn't matter if we will see physically or not. Yeah, we talk each other. It's universality. Yeah, I understand what universality means. Yeah, because I'm not Portuguese. He's not Romanian. We are not South African. But when we meet each other, we talk same language, the karate language.
So, as I understand, as a conclusion, karate, it's not only about being healthy,
No.
doing sport.
It's a style of life.
It's a style of life, and also it's belonging to a very worldwide community with some core values that I would very much like you to express.
Yeah, and
Which are the core values?
The
you
core
share?
values is respect,
Respect,
honesty,
honesty.
faithfully. These are basic values for all of us. Of course, with that comes friendship and companionship and many other stuff, but these are core values. You cannot be in the world of karate without this. That's why I focus the situation, choose wisely your instructor, because all of a sudden, as you recall the movies, it opened a vast lack of people that do themselves invent this and that, and so it's quite dangerous. So choose wisely, but be there, because it was the trip.
Great.
And in my opinion, there is another, in my opinion, it's most important value because of justice. You know, we turn back to the justice. It's honor.
Honor.
Yeah. I organized this championship because my friend want to organize this championship. Yeah.
You mean Umberto?
My friend, no, Christian.
Christian Box, our
Christian.
friend.
Christian died last year in the summer.
Oh, God
And
bless him.
after the Christian died, Umberto asking me, okay, you can organize this championship or not? And I said, of course, yes. First time for my friends, because he want to organize this championship here in Timișoara, and after that for him, because he's also my friend. He was the very good
So
friend
it
with
was
Christian.
in memoriam
Yes.
of
Yeah.
your
And
colleague.
for me, in European and Gojuriu Federation, there are some rules. Yeah? He must come with 1 year before in the country and in the town where a championship will be organized, and to check the hotels, the sport hall, and so on. I asked him in January or February, okay, where and when
do you
want to come in Romania, in Timișoara to see? And he said, my friend, it's not necessary to be here. I trust in you and your team. For me, was a very big pressure.
Especially that you organize.
Yes.
By the way, why did you organize it in Timișoara and not, I don't know,
Because
Bucharest?
Christian
Because
wants
Christian chose
Timișoara.
Chose Timișoara 2 years
because-
before,
Yeah.
because this
He
championship
chose Timișoara.
was prepared from 2 years before that moment.
And do you have a strong community in Timișoara?
Yeah, we have strong community. We have a very good friends
Clubs,
and old friends.
Old friends.
Yeah, and clubs here. You know, and it was a problem of honor for me. Yeah, I want to organize this championship at very high level possible now for us, and I do everything. And when he said it's not necessary that I come to Timișoara because I trust in you and your team, for me it was the second pressure, major pressure.
I'm sorry for that.
You have to prove.
Okay.
I didn't mean to
It's
put you
not
on,
problem.
on that
Yeah.
pressure, but
So wow, this is amazing.
Yeah, because it is my honor here. It's not about the rules. It's not about the legislation. It's about honor.
Was he honorable?
And
he
enough?
is the most honorable
No.
guy. And I take the opportunity to say that the championship was amazing.
Amazing.
Fantastic sport hall, fantastic team, fantastic organization. One of the best, and I owe it to
you know,
Octavian.
as I know him, during the championship in the time, from time to time he was very nervous in championship because something are not good.
Perfectly aligned.
And he said, okay,
details.
where is them? And I said, wow. But when he put the feet in Timișoara, from the first time he was very relaxed.
Yeah.
And I said, if Mr. President is very relaxed, it will be okay.
Next time it would be easier.
No, actually, I must say that this is the third championship that Romanian Karate Federation organized. The first one was in Izvoran, near Bucharest, the second in Bucharest in the third year, and they were all amazing and excellent because Octavian has a fantastic team with him at the Romanian Karate Federation, and I know for sure in all my heart I know I can rest because I had to come here, he had to spend extra money having me here. And I said, no, it's not needed. I'm sure everything will be top of the pops. And it was, really.
You know,
That is
I'm not perfect, but...
Almost.
But he's my friend. And
do some more kata, please.
yeah.
So, gentlemen, it was a great pleasure for me to have you in my podcast. I learned a lot of things, and I'm sure all the people that will watch us will do the same. Maybe if you give me a final message to the children or even adults who want to study karate in the ending of the podcast.
Well, do choose karate, but have patience, because karate is for life. It's not for 5 minutes results later. So do choose it and keep with it, because you have to be patient to reach some goals.
Perfect.
My message is let the children to practice sport. Let the children choose the sport they like, but inform the children what is in every sport. And when they choose karate, it will be okay. And I think that more than 50% of children will choose karate.
Good. Thank you very much. As I learned from internet, you have a greeting that's os in karate, or it's just for fighters?
It depends on the traditions. Octavian will use it. I'm not used to that.
Let's
greet with your traditional way of greeting.
It's okay. I know host.
You know what means os?
No.
Os, it's
general word. Means almost everything.
Yes, almost everything. But it's two words, o and su. And the Japanese said it's sword and soul. Mm-hmm. And sword was the soul of samurai.
Wow.
Yeah. And this was the reason that O-S-S-U, it's our greeting, os.
Os.
Because you don't read you.
So it was a greeting from the heart.
Yeah.
But it can also represent, if your instructor tells you something, you say os, meaning you understand. If your instructor say go to the left, you say os, meaning you're gonna do it. So it's a broad word that you can use inside the dojo, really.
Specifically, we use os only in the dojo.
Yeah.
It's not a common greetings.
Okay.
When we meet each other on the street or whatever.
But now, as an exception, can I use it in our podcast, which is not a dojo, and I say, os, gentlemen, and thank you very much for you being here. I wish you a lot of good luck and more competitions, and have a very nice life. And thank you.
Thank you for having us. Thank you.
Os, arigato gozaimasu.
Arigato gozaimasu.